Hamilton, the musical that took Broadway by storm in 2015, took streaming by storm in 2020, and is currently taking movie theaters by storm in 2025. With all of the constant success that this show has experienced over the last 10 years, all of the praise, all the awards, and all of the careers that it managed to launch, one simply has to ask the question, is it all justified? Is all of this really earned? Do the people who put all of their hard work into this show truly deserve all of the praise? Is Hamilton overrated? So the topic of the underratedness of Hamilton has been a heavy debate amongst people in the theater community within the last few years, especially once the Pro Shot dropped on Disney Plus during the pandemic, where suddenly everybody was once again obsessed with the musical phenomenon. I will be the first to admit that I was in fact a part of the Hamilton craze back in the day. But I don't think that I'm going to let my opinion back then judge how I feel about it 5 years later or 10 years later if we're going by the Broadway premiere. So in this video, I want to mainly address three core components: the portrayal of the real life figures, the songwriting style, and the performance of Lin-Manuel Miranda as Alexander Hamilton. All three of these issues have been hot button debates amongst fans for the last few years, and they have rose to prominence as Lin-Manuel Miranda's career has continued to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and as the show gets more and more popular with each and every year. And I also would like to further state, before we fully dive into things, that this is nothing new. Throughout the history of art and pop culture, there have been several different pieces of media and art in general where something is really, really popular, and yet suddenly it becomes lame to like it. We have seen this happen many, many times with Star Wars, Avatar, and yes, Hamilton seems to be a very recent example of that. Even Lin-Manuel Miranda's own Encanto is starting to become one of those things where it's not really that cool to like anymore. Before eventually we grow out of that phase and we're just like, oh wait, yeah, these things have always been good and they will continue to be good. It's an interesting phenomenon and it's nothing new, and Hamilton is just another one of those examples. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get things started with this analysis by discussing the interpretations of the show's very real historical figures. So famously, Hamilton is a musical about very real figures in history, and the funny thing about these figures in history is that a lot of them kinda sucked. The two big ones are George Washington and Thomas Jefferson. They were slave owners. Additionally, Thomas Jefferson raped a 14-year-old on his plantation. All around not a good guy. At the end of the day, kind of makes it a little awkward that these characters are front and center in a musical, and with Washington in particular being painted in a mostly positive light. But on the other hand, this is all supposed to be from the point of view of Alexander Hamilton, who, outside of cheating on his wife, really didn't have anything that problematic about him. Plus, despite all of the horrible atrocities that some of these figures did commit in real life, they did also do a lot of good things when it came to the founding of the American country. Not to mention, even though these people were slave owners in real life, the musical did go through colorblind casting. So they judged the actor simply based off of their performance rather than the race. This resulted in folks such as Washington and Jefferson being played by people of color, which you can say helps indicate how early America was kind of the underground, and they were founded by a group of immigrants, so it makes sense that they kind of look like immigrants, you know? Gee, imagine immigrants being a key factor in why America works. Not to mention, Lin-Manuel Miranda himself even said in an interview once that when the rights for Hamilton eventually go out to the public, he has absolutely zero problem with people of various races interpreting these characters, especially white actors, because these roles are truly meant for anybody to fill their shoes. Plus, not to mention, they were all white in real life, so it's really not that big of a deal, guys. And speaking of Lin-Manuel Miranda, the next two topics of interest in this video, both coincidentally, are directly associated with him. And let's start things off with Lin-Manuel Miranda made a name for himself with Hamilton due to the show's unique lyrical structure with people singing on just about every note. Now, there are some notable exceptions, but a lot of the times people are singing at a very fast pace. Additionally, there are also very unique rhymings. Some rhymes that you wouldn't usually think of as rhymes. And it was this unique style that lent Lin-Manuel Miranda to be the songwriter for projects such as Moana, his own passion project Vivo, and Encanto. However, with Lin-Manuel Miranda's success came imitators, namely with Disney's Wish. Not really feeling like getting Lin-Manuel Miranda for some reason, the songwriters of this film chose to instead copy his style, but they ended up using the exact wrong methods by having absolutely every song be fast-paced, even during songs that are supposed to be slow-paced and serious, like the I Want song, or the soft-spoken song that's a duet between our hero and villain, in contrast to what Lin-Manuel Miranda previously did in Encanto, where he expertly was able to balance his signature style with more traditional musical theater songs that fit the vibes of the story. This imitator in the form of Wish, and even future projects such as Moana 2, does not work at all. So say what you will about his signature songwriting style, at least he knows when to use it. Like, he uses that for like the fast songs. Guys, it's that simple. Okay, so now it's time for the massive elephant in the room, and I bet the thing you were probably waiting for me to talk about when it comes to Hamilton being overrated. Lin-Manuel Miranda himself, in particular, him casting himself as the lead in Hamilton. And the interesting thing about it, that it is not the only time he has casted himself as the lead in one of his projects. He has also casted himself as the lead in the Heights, and his animated film that he done for Sony Pictures Animation, Vivo. I don't have a problem with this. And you know what? I'm going to tell you exactly why I don't think this is such a big deal. For one reason, and one reason only. Writers who are also actors do this shit all the time. On top of that, people often complain about how much he's a terrible singer. When you actually take the time and effort to listen to the soundtrack for Hamilton and In the Heights, he's really not that bad of a vocalist. Yeah, it's different compared to everybody else on Broadway, but it's not unbearable, especially compared to some singers in movies. So, Why does everybody suddenly hate Lin-Manuel Miranda as a performer? I believe that it has something to do with the Hamilton Pro Shot. Think about it. Before the Pro Shot came out, everybody loved Lin-Manuel Miranda, and they thought he was pretty good as Alexander Hamilton. But then the Pro Shot came out, and suddenly Hamilton was doing this weird sob crying voice during some of his more dramatic numbers where he's supposed to be emotional, and rather than getting the correct emotional response, he actually sounds like fucking dog shit. Because the thing is, Lin-Manuel Miranda would have sounded significantly better during these songs if he just sung them normally. And so this brings us back to our initial question. Is Hamilton overrated? Hell nah. You really thought that I was just gonna sit here trying to defend this musical for the past 10 minutes if I didn't think that the show was actually good? No. But I want to clarify some things. That if you genuinely don't like Hamilton, that's completely your opinion, and I'm not trying to invalidate that. But here's the real question that I want to ask you guys. Do you actually hate Hamilton? Unironically, you just do not think it's a good musical? Or are you sick of it? Are you sick of it constantly being the only musical that non-theater people know? Are you sick of hearing the songs over and over again? Are you sick of seeing Lin-Manuel Miranda's face everywhere? Are you sick of his style of music? Because I want to clarify. There is a key difference between not liking something and being sick of it. I really enjoy pizza, but if I eat pizza every single day, I'm gonna get sick of it. Same thing, you can really like Hamilton, but if you hear the songs every single day and all of your friends that are into theater are suddenly going, Hamilton, 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 you're going to get sick of it. And so I, again, ask you the question. Do you like Hamilton or are you sick of it? But anyway, guys, that will be it for this video. What do you guys think of Hamilton? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's overrated? Please let me know in the comments below. And if you like more of musical theater analysis like this, or just media analysis in general, then please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell and have it set to all notifications. Next week, hopefully, we will be starting our Halloween videos, and I'm super excited for those. But until then, I will see you later. Bye!